Welcome back to Spilling the Tech. This is episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about scams and fraud. I'm Connor Robb.
I'm Jordan Bakar, and let's get right into this topic.
Okay.
Scams are a huge problem. A lot of people use. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a lot of, let's just say, dirty people or like filthy people use these kind of scams to target, vulnerable people. Try to exploit them for money, try to exploit them for, services. And, in recent years, I've been realizing that it's been kind of going on the rise. And they're using different means to actually victimize other people. This is why we picked this topic, and we're kind of just going to talk about how you can prevent yourself from getting scammed and also, like, past experiences we've had.
Yeah, I've seen lots of problems. Like, I feel like with the internet being a big thing and becoming more and more mainstream, it's obviously people are going to exploit that.
Yeah, that's true. The thing that's scary the most to me is like how they're embedding these scams into just typical normal things that you would never suspect having a scam into it. Like I said, like they pinpoint a topic or they pinpoint something that's related to you and basically use that as a traffic source to actually get people like you to fall for these traps that they set up. And I feel like that is really messed up.
Yeah, like ads on websites.
Ads on websites.
Sketchy ads.
Yeah, even like on Walmart website, Amazon's website, there's always these ads that may pop up that actually are not, geared from that company, but there'll be ads taking you to these websites that if you would click on them, they're actually really sketchy and would, mess up whatever you're doing.
This should be pretty common sense, but don't click on them.
No, don't.
Because that can install a virus onto your computer, and that can give them control of your computer and your information.
If you ever see something that interests you, it's better to just go on Google and search it up. Do not look at an ad and be like, oh, I'm actually interested in this, and let me click on it. Just search it up on Google, and you'll probably, find a safer avenue or a street to actually get onto and, direct you to that topic or whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we talk about like scam prevention?
Yeah, why don't we get into that?
Okay. So number one, use common sense.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest one, is a lot of people just don't use common sense. And that's the most important one, because if you're not using common sense, it's not going to matter.
That's 100% true. Do not, especially like when people fall for the scams where you get something for free.
Yeah, nothing's free.
Are you not using your head? Like, let's be honest. Like, nothing's free. There's always a catch, and by the end of it all, you're probably paying way more than you expected. So, don't fall for those kind of scams, especially, because that's all on you. Because you can get the email, but it's up to you if you open it up, and from there, that's, like I said, it's up to you from what you do from there. You just got to be extremely cautious. But the good thing I've been liking about a lot of these email services is lately they've been implementing a feature where they can actually identify these scam emails and put them into your junk folder so you actually don't see them at all.
Yeah, so people won't be dumb enough to click on them.
That's true. But the issue I see with that too is sometimes I'll get emails that will actually supposed to be directed to me that I was actually expecting, but would actually get into my spam folder and I would actually never see it. So
the hope is that if you're expecting an email, you'd go to your spam folder after it's not
That's
arrived.
True. I check my spam folder every single day. But that just shows that, even though these big platforms are taking steps to help people from getting scammed, it's still, a long way from actually stopping, scammers from having access to these kind of sources and stuff.
Scams have also kind of evolved over the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
People kind of know about the email scams, like the Nigerian prince and the you won the lottery.
Those
kind of
up.
Scams. Everyone kind of knows about them, and they're kind of common sense that those are scams.
But yet people still fall for them. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, but not as much as like
No, yeah, 100%.
some of like the internet scams. Like, I remember when Fortnite was popular, there was a big thing because people just look at free V-Bucks, go to one of those free V-Buck websites, type in their credit card number, and
I think
they get nothing.
It also comes down to, like, people are kind of desperate.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, in my early days when I wanted some software and applications, I hope the FBI is not listening right now, but let's just say I would go to the back end of the internet and see if I could get a free version of it. But you just gotta be extremely careful, you know. With the way technology is kind of evolving and growing nowadays, there's a lot of possibilities that these scammers can do with your information.
Especially on like sketchy websites.
Oh, 100%.
If you're going to a sketchy website for some, you know, free content or whatever, trying to find something for free up somewhere.
And then I do want to bring up a point. I feel like some of these scammers actually are pranking you in a way. One time, I don't know why I've been getting these magazines and stuff from this service because I've never used them. You know, I've never signed up for ESPN. I've never signed up for some of these other services. But one time, this was a few years ago, I just got like a surge of them in the mail with my name, everything on it. So they use these details and sell it off to all these big companies or third-party companies, and then they use that to basically solicit you with all this stuff that you're not interested in. But you know, it's the day and age we live in. You just have to prevent yourself, you know. It's the same thing with a lot of other stuff that technology has that may have some massive implications and what is it called? Disadvantages later on the road that can actually just backfire.
You'll never be 100% safe.
No.
But you should try to prevent yourself from going down avenues that would make it easy for them to take your information.
Yeah. Like you know, what we were saying, if it's sketch, just move on. Don't get into it.
Like, the IRS will never call you. That's
100%.
not real. They'll send you an email because
They'll
you
send
can't
you
hack
mail.
an email.
I mean, if it's really bad, they'll come knocking at your door and you know, have the police and everything with them. So
Never tell anyone anything over the phone or over computer.
social security number, your what is it called? Credit card number.
Yeah,
all those kind of
trusted
stuff.
website, such as Amazon.
You just really gotta use your head.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, the fact that some people are falling for scams like those shows that a lot of people lack the knowledge.
Yeah. Lots of
And-
people are susceptible because they're promised something,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, well, this is a great deal."
Like, don't get me wrong, like, we all were at that age where we would see stuff like that and actually be intrigued and be like, oh, so all I have to do is this and I can win $1,000. But as you get older, you should start realizing that nothing's free. You know, things are too good to be true.
I feel like the people who are most susceptible are like children and older people who don't like understand the internet.
Yeah. And just like the older generation and that's 100%
Or
true.
desperate people, which is kind of scummy in their case. They're targeting like the three most vulnerable groups of people.
Yeah. Let's go into talking about some red flags that you should, you know, pinpoint when you're getting these kind of emails and phone calls. Let's start off with, should we talk about emails or phone calls? I don't know.
You decide.
All right. I think emails are more, let's say, because emails, you know, they can take you to links and stuff.
Yeah.
While on the phone, you know, they call you, they can talk about a service, but that's really it. You can hang up. Yeah, so let's talk about emails. So some red flags that you should look for is, like, you know, does the email look legit? Like, the fact that we're having this conversation
Kinda shows you something.
in 2020 just shows that a lot of people just don't use their heads. Like, for me to fall for one of these scams, like, I gotta be like in an alternate universe, because
I feel like a lot of people think the internet is a safe place and, you know, is all friendly
Oh,
and stuff.
no.
When it's
Oh,
really
no.
not. So that's why they fall for this kind of stuff. Because they're like, oh, there's nothing bad here. Why would there be anything bad here?
the internet is a revenue source, and people find ways to make money. And if that means taking the vulnerable and just, you know, profiting off them, they're gonna do it.
See, like, if you're going to a website with free content,
Mm-hmm.
think about what are they gaining before I click on this link?
Exactly.
What do they get out of me visiting their website?
Because they're gonna get something out of it. Someone's gonna have to pay for that domain. One day, or whatever service they're using.
And most of the time, it's selling ads.
Oh yeah, the amount of ads that are appearing on websites that I would typically use and never see too many ads has increased so much. It's not even.
I think it's almost scary if you don't see ads on a website.
Because that website's not. You have a point. I'll give you that. So yeah, another red flag is do they have grammatical mistakes? Do they have mistakes that if you were writing an email from a true business you would never make? So if it's from like a high corporation, you're not going to see them make punctuation errors. You're not going to see them make spelling mistakes or anything like that. So if you see those kind of things, that should be a red flag telling you, this is not legit. One mistake can slide by, but if they're making consistent mistakes, just move on by. A lot of these scams come from developing parts of the world. So these are, people who, let's just say, aren't in a good position in life. But that shouldn't give them the reason to scam people who are actually working hard for their money. Like, I understand that a lot of these scams come from those kind of areas, but that should not give anybody the green light to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is why the economical divide is, like, it sucks. There's a lot of potential out there, and the only reason why people can't actually get to that potential is money. And people do anything to get money, but
We are a world based on money, so it makes sense that
It's-
people
it's-
would
it's-
find any ways they could.
I know, but it's
And the
sad.
internet really gives them an avenue to do that.
It's sad though, it really is, because I feel for them, but don't get me wrong, I don't agree with what they're doing, but
But you understand where they're coming from.
exactly.
Let's just kind of end it off right there. This has been Spilling the Tech. I've been Connor Robb.
I've been Jonah Bakar.
Thank you.